Guys, I am Brandon Carey, and today we are going to do something a little special. Um, as of the day of recording, on Wednesday, the they have successfully announced that Brawl will be going into Arena, effective today. And to celebrate, they have created a special event where you can play using the pre-constructed brawl decks, and as a result, some of the new cards from Thrones of Eldraine in Arena now. You can only play as these decks and only during this event, but you are allowed to play Brawl normally otherwise. So I have been looking at these decks. Each of them are helmed by one of the new pre-con commanders that have been built for this set for Brawl, and we have the Mardu one here based on Sir Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale, who reduces the cost of equipping stuff to 0 if you equip it to a knight, and gives you card draw when you attack with a equipped creature. Plus she has, plus they have vigilance and math. I can't tell if that's a guy or a girl. So the deck is based mostly on equipment and creatures who are good targets for, and knight creatures who are good targets for it. This deck contains mostly knights as a knight tribal. If I think Tajik is like the one non-knight in the deck because he makes combat safe as hell. And this is a decent. This seems like a fine deck. It's not really my speed, but it's perfectly serviceable. And if we go back, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go here. I'm going to skip this. This is the one I actually want to play. So we're going to go through the other ones first. This one, helmed by Ayla, who is, I guess it seems like a fairy tribal. Although, not in the usual terms you'd think. There actually aren't very many creatures at all in this deck, and many of them aren't fairies. So because her passive creates fairies, kind of like Bitter Blossom, but instead of every turn, it's when you cast an artifact or enchantment spell. So this deck is filled with artifacts and enchantments, and a couple of flying lords, so that you can overwhelm your opponent with a ton of flyers. And that way, since you also boost the attack of flyers, then you can just swing in for game over your opponent's ground-based units, in theory. This is an interesting style. It's not really something that I'm interested in, but there is something to be said about just being able to win with the creature without actual creatures in the deck, or a few creatures in the deck. If we go back, this one was the one that we knew about. This commander, we knew about this. We knew about Chulane ages back. Looks like this one also has Shockland, which is not bad for monetary value. This is Chulane, Teller of Tales. He has Vigilance, and whenever you cast creature spell, draw a card, you may play a land from your hand to the battlefield. And then you may pay 3 and tap to bounce a creature back to your hand. You have the control of the creature. So this is kind of based on ETB effects, and using Chulane to get massive mana ramp and card draw, massive value, I should say, from just from all of that. It looks like these are a couple of late game win cons. It's easier to get to this level of mana when you're playing a deck like this because you have Chulane ramping you up faster than you normally would. And every deck here contains some form of mana ramp, like the Arcane Signet, which just taps running mana in your commander's colors. And lastly, this is the one I actually want to play, which is Savage Hunter, based on Korvold, Fae-Cursed King, who is a flyer with, when it enters battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. When you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1 counter on Korvold and draw a card. So the idea is that you kind of sacrifice your things to gain long-term value. And you have a ton of cards that proc off sacrifices or are good sacrifice fodder. Like you have Priest of Forgotten Gods, who's a good sack outlet, Plaguecrafter, Evolution Sage. You have a ton of things like Judith here, who pings every time a creature dies. So you have a ton of ways to accrue value out of this. And you have stuff like Dreadhorde Invasion, which gives you a token each turn that you can sacrifice. So you're actually not effectively losing anything, but you're instead gaining counters and draw out of that, even though you're losing life per turn off Dreadhorde Invasion. There's a lot of good cards here. Sword Comrade, who also procs through death and lets you bring things back to your top of your library so you can draw them again. There's just a lot here. Azoni as a good finisher for giving you a bunch of tokens. And the mana base seems to also be pretty solid. I noticed every one of these has Command Tower in it, which is, if you haven't played Commander before, it's a staple in Commander decks. Any deck that has 2 or more colors in it in Commander will usually run one of these. And I guess before I should go further, I should explain what Brawl is. If you hey Nanakiri, if you have played Commander before, Brawl is a variant of it, where you have a legendary creature or a planeswalker in the case of Brawl that serves as your general for your deck. And aside from basic lands, you can only have a single copy of any card in the deck. So it's usually, like, that's where the term Highlander comes from, because there can only be one. Because it's also called Eldraine Highlander Commander, but this is a different format from that. And your commander exists in a place called the Command Zone, which is not your hand. It's a separate zone, but you can cast your commander from it at any time. You could cast it normally, except when it dies, it doesn't. You can move it back to the Command Zone, but when you cast it from there again, you have to pay 2 more mana than you did last time. Unlike Commander, which starts at 40 life, Brawl is a 20 life format, and instead of 100 cards, the regular Commander is, this is 60 cards. To answer your question, Anakiri, what event this is, they have announced that Brawl is coming to Arena, and so they're letting you play with the Brawl Pre-con decks that do include cards from Thrones of Eldraine in them. So, just as a way to experiment, to let you play around with Brawl as a format, they're giving you the pre-con decks to play as. You can only use pre-con decks in this special event, but it is free, does not require you to actually put any money down to play it. And if you get 6 wins, you unlock a bunch of copies of cards that you can't really use until Eldraine becomes legal. But when the set does unlock, they'll be in your collection for you to use. And so I just spent a little while going through the decks, and for the sake of people who are going to watch this after the fact, I'm not going to go through a second time. But we are going to play as the Jund Savage Hunter build. Yeah, I would recommend checking it out, if only just to see how Brawl plays in Commander, which is what I'm doing now. I had a different plan for this stream, but I figured since this event is here, I might as well give it a shot. So rather than belabor the point any longer, let's just get started. Because I'm mostly curious to see how Brawl plays in Commander, or plays in Arena, and B, how good these precon decks are. Ooh! Dreadhorde Invasion in my opening hand is very, very nice. I'm gonna keep this. That's how I guess that's how the command zone works. And yes, Brawl starts at 25 life instead of the usual 20. Or 40 if you play Commander. But this is a very nice start. I'm going to play the Forest, and we're going to play Dreadhorde Invasion. And she is playing the Esper deck. Ooh, ramping already. Alright, let's play Judith the Scourge Demon. And I am aware that deck does have Kaya's Wrath, so I will hopefully not play too quickly. But if I lose a token, that's not a big deal. We're gonna first start by swinging and see what happens. I think I'm gonna hold back for now, actually. So if they play a big creature, I will probably just Death Sprout it. Oh no, I need one more mana to Death Sprout. One more black mana. I guess I could probably just swing with the Amass if it's not too strong. Because if I lose the token, I just make it another token again. I don't really care if it dies. What I'm afraid of is them clearing the board. That is not the worst thing that can happen. That was not what I was afraid of. I was afraid of something far worse than that. See, they're not playing their commander because their commander procs off all of these artifacts coming into play. I wonder if they have Kaya's Wrath in their hand right now. Maybe I'm being a bit... Okay. I'm gonna swing first. Always safer to swing first. I'm gonna play Savvy Hunter. I do expect a board clear to happen at some point, and if it does, that's gonna suck. But it's also not the end of the world. Yep. Not the end of the world. That's why we play a little conservatively. We expect that to happen. I wish I could play my commander. I got a little land screwed. I hope they realize I have to eventually win at some point. I am really surprised our commander hasn't even come out yet. That is impressive. I want to wait to sacrifice this Krenko for when Alright, let's might as well cast it. If it gets countered, who cares? We're gonna swing in for one. I would like to have another black source at some point, though. Game that's a little frustrating. I do love the Eldraine board, though. This is really cool. Alright, now all I need is a black source. It's not a black source. And this is a problem. The fact, like, I am getting land screwed kind of hard right now, and I don't like that. It's not over yet, but it's getting bad already, getting kind of bad. It is my hope. Oh, I hate this. Of course, it's artifact creature. Where is my board clearer when I need it? Next turn I should be able to Death Sprout, which will get rid of Alayla and reduce some of my problem. I've basically lost. I can't win this. Well played. Let's see if I can do anything in my breath. It's a little annoying that I kind of lost because I didn't get the lands I needed to actually play my deck. That's really irritating, but can't be helped. I underestimated how effective that Esper deck was, though. I'll tell you that. Had to mulligan this because I actually need ramp. This'll do. Oh! Command Tower is always a good thing to see in your opening hand. It really helps you avoid the mana screw. Play the Arcane Signet so we can get the extra mana. That's more important right now. I don't want you making tokens, but I also don't want you gaining. Running low on steam. What I want to do is I want to make food tokens that I can you can attack safely with the Sky Knight, but what I want to do is I want to make food tokens that I can safely use to block, or to sacrifice to Korvold and draw cards. Because I really do well if I can survive the long game. Because so far he's running a little low on steam. Can I block? I want to make that food token. Because that is nothing more than sacrifice fodder. That's food token. What we're going to do is we're going to do this. Sacrifice food. Play this jungle hollow tapped and gain a life. Gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Thankfully, with Dreadhorde Evasion, I should be able... Oh, fuck off! Middle finger to you! Double blocking is not going to be any good. That's irritating. That's annoying. Vigilance and Menace. I wish I had a way to deal with artifacts right now. He doesn't have Trample, but he does have Menace, which is a problem. Come on with the removal! Why am I not drawing any removal? That's a little irritating. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what I could have done in that matchup. That just seemed like a really bad match. I got... Well, there's my win. I won. I won. That's a win. It counts. Whew. It did really suck that every time I played my commander that they had a way to get rid of it. Every time. That was rough. Free mulligan. I need... This is worse. I need a variety of colors. I'm a tricolor deck. Yes, we'll throw one swamp, I guess. Sure. I guess we'll have to ramp up the old-fashioned way. Like playing lands, donkey. Lands! 7 Force is not a bad opener. Forcing this swing in the air anyway, so who cares? I might as well swing, I can't block, so... I swear if you put a removal spell on Krenko right now. I'm gonna block, and that will probably the shock spell. Which is fine. What? Why are combat tricks in a brawl deck? Alright. Not the worst thing on earth. Probably sacrifice the golden egg to draw a card off Korvold. Middle finger to you. Bake into a pie. That's funny. I'll keep that. Ooh, that's good. Find the finality. Can play that next turn, the finality half of that, and get rid of that whole board if something untoward happens. There's a combat trick there. I don't trust it. I'm letting that through. It's a tap land, which doesn't help, but I'll play it. I almost want to play this just so I can get a food token out of it when I attack. So I can sacrifice and draw a card. Although I could get rid of the Enforcer. He's not really doing me much good right now. Actually, I'm just gonna get rid of the Enforcer and save my removal for later. If you shock the Enforcer, that's fine. He has Afterlife. You're gonna block or take 6. What I'm hoping he does is play his commander so that I can... Yeah, that's the right move. If he plays the commander... Oh, okay. Of course, the alternative is that he just attacks with the Fireborn Knight, and I just turn it into food. Which, in the right circumstance, I may just do. Sacrifice. Okay. I'm gonna hold on this finality for a bit, but let's play this and this. That gives me enough for Thrashing Brontodon. I think I'm going to actually destroy Knight's Charge. Yeah. No. What I do first... Oh, I should have played something. Oh well. A permanent. Finality. take action on Mayhem Devil. Yeah, that's game. That was a good match. I'm actually glad I got this card because I tend to play aristocrat style decks, and this man looks like a good card in aristocrat style decks. I'm a little nervous because he seems kind of like, because Brawl seems to be kind of a low to the ground format compared to Commander. But I think this is a good top end card for an Aristocrats deck because it gives you a paying off basically at anything that you really want to do in that kind of deck. I might end up using Taste of Karlov as a Commander for a deck like that. Because I love Orzhov. Orzhov is one of my favorite color combos. It's the one I started Magic with, and it's the one I tend to have a special relationship with. I love my aristocrats. I love sacrificing my boys for big ups, and the style just gels with me. So, I mean, that's actually why I went with just Jund deck, is because this is a Jund almost kind of aristocratsy deck where you want to sacrifice your things for card draw, which will lead you to your big win conditions. Oh, it's the fairy deck again. Okay. Oh, all 3 basic land types. This is not the worst opener I could see, even though I will eventually want to double up on some of these. Yeah, we're going to keep this. This is not terrible. This is not good, but it's not terrible. Okay. Start with the forest. And then we'll probably play Krenko on turn 3. Woodland into Krenko is my current playline plan. And then I'll Evolution Sage. The plan right now is to turn 4, attack with Krenko, get the tokens, get the +1/+1 we have to run Woodlands, and then once it's got the counter, then I'll use Evolution Sage to proliferate. That's the current plan. I have and we'll see how this goes, because anything can happen. This card is bad. I can't attack right now. I expect him to attack. Or maybe he'll leave it up as a blocker. Oh, okay. Oh, it just turns into an artifact creature. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, that sucks. Wow, holy shit, that's a showstopper. Oh, that's a showstopper. If I don't draw removal for that commander, that's going to be the worst feeling in the world. This game sucks. Magic is terrible. I hate it. Yeah, I do like the background music for this. It is really fairy tale-esque is the right word for it. What I'm hating is that I'm kind of stuck right now. Yeah. Yeah, destroy target colorless permanent. Yeah, I'll keep that. I'm gonna start drawing some cards next turn. Oh, that's a good card to have in a blue deck. What are you gonna improve? Mm-hmm. Yeah, why make this easy? I could use some finality right now. And a land. You can't do anything about it, so just let it through, please. Huh. I'm curious as to what he's thinking right now. Oh, fuck you! I concede. Fuck this deck. Esper in Standard is a frustrating thing to go against. Esper has... Like, the Esper color combo has so much removal in it. White and black have so much removal combined together that it is really, really hard to get anything to stick with that deck. This is... okay. I got a bunch of slow lands. Like more black so I can play Death Sprout at some point. I'm gonna keep you because I'm gonna need you eventually to play Finality. We're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna get another forest. We're ramping up pretty nicely, actually. Looks like there's at least one Shockland in each deck. Oh, in front of me, aren't you? Alright, let's begin with this. So... play your commander for all the good it'll do you. No, I don't. No, I don't attack. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have played Judith and then attacked. Sheevan Dragon will probably swing in for 5, but that's not the worst thing in the world. Equipped. Ooh, it's equipped 1, not equipped Knight. Oh, they're giving it to Sergwyn. Interesting choice. You don't control. Okay. I don't mind making some really bad blocks here. Oh, come on! I just lose. Are you fucking serious? It's not over yet. It's not a knight, you can't do that. You're gonna lose. You don't have trample and it has death touch, you idiot. Yeah, I'm... Middle finger to you. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to come back from this, and I don't think I actually do win, but I didn't want Kaya here to think that I was just like I was a pushover. Okay, yeah, I lost. Whew. I'm not sure what I think about these precons. They're... The problem with precons, and this is kind of like general precons, like in Commander and in this, is that there's a high degree of variance in the games, and that's intentional. But it also makes it really hard to play, if you catch my drift. Like, you can't really rely on having the cards you need at a given time. Like, it's not consistent. Like you could build a commander to be somewhat consistent and have like redundancies of effects and that kind of thing. We're gonna keep this. It'll suck to have to wait till turn 3 before I can actually play a card, but them's the breaks. Oh no. I can play in turn 2. And then I can Rhythm of the Wild, so I can get my champion out. She's probably able to play the champion first, actually. That would get an encounter. And then we'll play the champion. There's a mountain on the board. Worth it. Okay, you're not the fool I thought you were, but that's okay. Destroy that that signet though. Keep you down on mana. That's fine. I draw a land, I'll just sacrifice the token. That's actually perfect. Oh, this works. Can't block with it. Just take the 3. What I really need right now, though, is a land. The food is nice, but we could use a land. Not a land, but this will... do. What I could really use right now is a way to clear the board. Or to kill Alia specifically. Death Sprout would be actually a great card here. Why am I getting so many, like, high-level drops? It's a white. Okay. I can't even with this deck. I can't even block, so what I gotta do is attack and hope that I can kill shit. Yeah, it does seem that way. Like, we might try switching decks to, like, the Chulane deck or something. It really sucks, because I like the concept behind this commander. I really do. But if it can't function, it's useless. Because the deck that he's playing is full of art. Okay. Okay. I think I just die here. Yeah. GG easy. What even hurts most is that if I had just drawn 2 goddamn lands, I could have cleared that board and it would have been an issue. But because I never drew the lands I needed, I could never actually finish her off. Let's actually give a different deck a try. Let's try the Bont deck. Because this seems to have some pretty good land and card draw built straight into it. So let's give this a try. Yeah, because I love aristocrat strategies, and I don't get to play Jund as much as I want to. So, like, that was just my thing, but I guess I'll have to wait to make my own variant of that commander deck that's more consistent. Because the thing they set up as it is just not good. Yeah. Actually, yeah. This is a keeper. I have land and ramp to get the exact combination I need. Oh, you're also playing the same deck. Cool. Let's get... Oh, let's go for the Cinnamon Guild Gate. See you in a bit. Wow, okay. Already getting aggressive, aren't we? I hate mirror matchups. hate mirror matchups. I hate them so much. It's also irritating when they have reusable removal and you don't. Alright. This should be funner. This should be more interesting. I should have held back. Yeah. Interesting play. This is not great. This is actually pretty bad. If only I had my Meteor Golem. You know, the removal this deck is supposed to have. Proliferate. I am not drawing into removal in any of the games I'm playing, which is getting increasingly frustrating. This is why I pack decks that I run with removals, because not drawing into it is the worst feeling in the world. When you have a problem that you need to get rid of and you can't. That's why I'm called. That's why I tend to be the one known for having removal in my decks when I build them, because you need to be able to take care of problems. And if the game doesn't let you do that, the game is screwing you over. More or less. This. Wow, that's an aggressive early play. some white. So we'll go for the Azorius Guild Gate. No, I'm going to use the Kroll Harpooner next turn in all likelihood to get rid of their commander directly. So what we're going to instead do is Flourish and get a Plains. And then end the turn. This. Middle finger. Oh no, I need to do that Orgro Spiral, I can't do both. No, let me cast a Growth Spiral, please. To crack this in wilds to put another forest in play. If this gets wrapped, this is a huge issue. No, I'll keep this, because I like the exile effect. Not a big deal. long as your commander's not on the board, I don't really care. Cost you all your mana to play it, and you know I'll fight it the moment it comes out, so I wouldn't do that if I were you. Or you can be bold. I lost one match, but I think I'm in a pretty good position here. Because this guy's commander is verging on unplayable at this point. Because I keep killing her. I'm going to play this Incubation Druid now. And I'm going to hold on to a Frilled Mystic for later. I could swing in with the Shark the Crab, but that really wouldn't accomplish much, so I'm going to hold for now. So what I actually want to do is I want to hold on to Frilled Mystic so that the next time the commander is played I can counter it, or if something big happens I can counter it. I won't counter a Signet. With that, I will not allow you to get that much mana. I don't know if I've had a land drop in the past several turns. I've started adapting shit. First off, let me adapt this. Tap you down. Then I will adapt this. And then we will play a hold for a bit. I'm going to swing in with both of you. Yeah, that's the right call. So what I really should have done is I should have only adapted one, and then bounced Frilled Mystic back to my hand so I could play her again. But it's easy to think of that in hindsight. I could keep going for one more match before calling it a night. But I think the Brawl Pre-con is actually pretty good. Chulane, when he's out, gives you a ton of just accidental land grab and card draw just from doing the things you want to do in the first place. Which in a commander is a very, very powerful thing. We'll keep this. This is actually a pretty good acceleration. I have to go first, but I think he goes first. Unless this is his yeah, he's mulliganing, so I'll probably make the first move. Alright. Let's begin with a tapped land. I wish the thing that is going to hurt Brawl in the long run is that limited card pool. It is going to be the problem that they will never be able to fully solve. And I feel terrible for the team, but it is the cold, hard reality. That they just will not be able to essentially... They won't be able to really deal with that problem. This goes to my hand, and not to the battlefield. Which makes it a little bad, but not the worst. Interesting. You must not. You must have gotten land screwed. This is the play of someone who couldn't get the lands they need. Lands, donkey. Lands. Oh, never mind. You're ramping just fine. Why'd you play that then? Oh, are you playing to pop off in your next turn? I'm gonna block. Actually, I don't need disregard. It's done. It's already done its job. This is going to be a chase card in Commander for a long time. I'm looking forward to that card eventually dropping in price. If you play Korvold now, that might be a mistake. Because you really need fodder for that kind of play. I wouldn't play your commander right now. I'm seeing you looking at it. I wouldn't. Okay. If I draw into removal next turn, you're going to be regretting that decision. What I will feel bad, though, is if he plays, I should have done this first. Oh, well. You can't swing it until you have something you want to sacrifice. Crying. It's getting annoying that everyone has removal spells but me all the fucking time. Where's my meteor golem? It's happening a lot, and I'm getting really tired of it. Well, fucking good that does me. Win.
Never seen water burn.
I'm good. I'm good. Alright, one more match. I'm not doing a mirror match. I hate mirror matches. They suck. You think they'd be able to match you against someone who's not playing the same deck you're playing? There we go. I go for the mulligan. It's also kind of bad, but I can hopefully scry for the planes I need. And Risen Reef should help me as well. Oh no, I can just tutor for it. I can just tutor for the land I need. Or I can use, the Rosethorn Acolyte to, Oh, okay. Oh, there's the plains. Bye, Tajik. Can't have you playing that shit on me. Yeah, that's a keeper. I'm gonna need that for my combo. Guaranteed land. Plains. This is becoming a problem. If only I had like a time wiper or something to clear the board. I'm also like the fact is these brawl decks also do not have the board clear they need, as well. Like I keep like there's like one board clear spell per deck, and I'm never drawing it, so like what these decks need are ways to clear the board of early threats, and more than one of them per deck. Because that ends up being like a huge important factor in staying viable. Like if anyone who plays Commander would know you have to include at least 2 or 3 of them in the deck. And it's probably like 1 or 2 in, well, it depends on an aggressive deck. Well, that's the problem with these decks, is they don't really have to like have a sample of different playstyles, so you don't really get the aggressive or the passive version. You just kind of get a deck, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like the problem with any precon deck, really, not just these, is that it's not really honed, and it's not meant to be honed. And that lack of focus can sometimes be a problem when you're actually playing it. Of course, all this is also ultimately just excuses, because in reality I should be able to play without a problem. To get my Meteor Golem online soon. I'm gonna block that. They didn't play lands. I can get my Druid online next turn, or my my Golem online, not the next turn, but the turn after. Take action yet, the rework. I'll need that spell. What the hell? This is where Kaya's Wrath ends up coming into play normally, but, whatever. Block. Now, I'm not in the clear just yet, but this is a good progression. This is where Kaya's Wrath will come into play. Which is actually not bad because I'm already at pretty much ahead in cards and mana. And you still haven't gotten into a blue. We're gonna, yeah, we're gonna call. Or yeah, that was probably the right call. I feel bad because like the problem they were running into, they didn't get the blue mana that they needed. But as you can see, that can be the breaks, and I am glad I got a copy of you. Oh, I need one more win to finish out the set, but I'm going to do that on my own time. Thank you, Nanakuri, for watching. And thank you for anyone who watches this after the fact. I will probably end up playing Brawl on Arena. But I don't know if I'm going to like it. I really don't. Yeah, you have a good night too. Take care. And maybe we'll see more Brawl on the stream. Maybe we won't. I'm still undecided. But until then, I will see you next time. On Sunday, I will be streaming more Ultimate Alliance 2, Ultimate Alliance 3 with my friend Chris. And Wednesday we'll be back here with a new deck or maybe a new event. We'll see what happens in the interim. But until then, take care. Goodbye.